in July, obviously, I got made redundant. The kids and the parents at the school spoilt me something atrocious. They were very, very naughty. But one of the things they bought me is this guy here, which you know all about because I managed to nearly kill it. Which is nothing new for me with houseplants, but this is the one that I find quite special. Now, with a bit of help from Roger, so if you look in, look at this. That's what I saw come up before Christmas. That is obviously in nubbin. I don't know if it's a bud or not. I would imagine so, because I'm under the impression that if you get a keiki, surely they would grow roots first, then the leaves, and then, so I don't know. This new growth here is another tiny growth that I found when I took it out of the porch, and this one is the teeny weeny one that I found when it was out in the garden. The other one that I cut off is there. So that's the one that died back on me, and I mean that is shriveled and desiccated, but everything else seems to be doing fine. And I turned this round this morning and look what I found down here. Look at that, there's another one, there's another nub in there. So this is what turned out I thought was going to be a disaster. I mean, it's actually turning out to be quite interesting. I mean, obviously I will go and put this back in its pot, in its hanging space. It's obviously happy there because it wouldn't be doing anything if it wasn't, but I guess it's because it's just round the corner there. You see the green pot there, it's hanging in that, and because obviously it gets all the steam from the kitchen and it gets all the light from both those windows as well, I assume it's just doing really, really well. So that is one of the presents from the children. I'll just take you around in the family room and show you what else they gave me. So I got Bustle, Muscly Puss, out of the way. So I got a pair of gardening gloves and a watering can, which I'm going to turn into a flower pot because the rose doesn't come off on here, and obviously if you get stuff stuck in there, there's nothing you can do about it if the rose doesn't come off. The gardening gloves are very pretty and they're very useful because I am actually allergic to ivy, and if you look down the garden, you can see there's loads of ivy down the back of the fence, and when we cleared it and actually sorted it out last year, I ended up with my hands covered in blisters for about 2.5 weeks, which was entertaining to say the least. But there we go. Look, he's come to join you. I have a Pussycatus orchidus as well. It's just a black one. He's a fabulous thing though. So obviously in August we then went away on holiday, and I brought this guy back. Now if you look at my profile picture, Happy Fall Orchid, that is this orchid, and this one has given out this spike. Now what I don't know is how long I'm going to have to wait for it to actually produce any flowers. It's not that far along at the minute. It is coming on, but obviously I don't know how long I'm going to have to wait, and when it has completely finished I am going to have to repot this, because if I turn it round, look, it has completely escaped out of the pot, so it needs to be repotted. But that one was in flower when I bought it. When all the flowers finished, I cut the spike off, I left it alone, and look what it's rewarded me with. So I'm quite happy with that one. That was quite a nice thing to get from on holiday. That one, obviously the other two, one's putting out loads of roots and the other one's not sure what it's doing at the moment. So obviously that's taking quite a long time. Then we get into September, and September was one of those whirlwind months. At the beginning of September, some friends of ours announced that they got engaged. The following weekend, So that weekend they had a party. The following weekend we were away at a scout camp called Explode, helping, well, I was helping on the craft tent and my husband was doing the climbing. And then the weekend after that, I can't remember what happened then. We were doing something. I know we were either away or something. And the following weekend, my eldest daughter then announced that she got engaged, and the party, oh, the weekend in between was my birthday party. How did I forget that? So, you know, the 23rd, 24th of September was my birthday party. Caught up with a load of friends that I haven't seen for a long, long time, and family, and that was a good time. It was had by all, and I'll show you what I got some money from them as well, from different people, and I'll show you what I've got with that in a minute. So obviously it was my birthday party, and on the Monday, my daughter, no, it was the week before, I think. Anyway, doesn't matter. My eldest daughter announced that she was getting engaged, got engaged, and they were having a party on the 30th of September. So September kind of whizzed by like a whirlwind, because we weren't around for any of the weekends apart from my birthday party, but then we were a bit preoccupied. So okay, so I then, with some of the money I got from friends and family and stuff, I did start to go out and buy some more houseplants. This guy is my first failure. He's a bromeliad. He was big and orange. I put him back in his pot. He's all curled up. I've watered him. He's not reviving. He doesn't look any good at all. I think he's had it. But for 95p, who's going to complain? You know, he was just a little thing. I thought, oh, I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that. So that's one of the plants I bought with the money I got from my birthday. This is the other one, which is my third Christmas cactus, which has different coloured flowers to the others. It's alright, I feel like David Bellamy, I'm pointing this through the spider plants. Yeah, so that one is doing quite well. Obviously all the buds fell off because when I bought it in September it had been forced. I thought it was going to be purple flowers, but they're not. They're actually red with white throat. But the buds are such a fantastic colour. But since then, in September, if I can get myself disentangled from this plant, these are my Christmas cactus cuttings. As you can see, that's the pink one, that's the red one, and that's a bit I accidentally broke off of there while I was sorting out where to put it, and I just stuck it in there, and I tested it today and it's taken. So so obviously this red one is quite happy because that's off of this one here. That one's quite happy because it's got buds on it. So there you go. Somewhere around then I was gifted this aloe in exchange for a spider pup. Unfortunately she only took one. I was hoping she might take some more, but she took one of my spider pups and gave me an aloe vera in exchange. So I have gained an aloe for nothing. Whether it does anything or not, I don't know, but we'll see. These are my air plants that are drying out at the moment that I also bought with my birthday money, along with the stand to put them in. They're drying out at the moment, which is why they're in the colander above a bowl, because I've just watered them, and you can see that because they're a nice green colour. So I'll just leave them there to dry out. So, you know, this one is an Ionanthe, I think it's called, and these three are Argentae, and these three I bought off the internet. That one I bought from a garden centre, and it was in a naff state when I got it, so you know. So there are my I can't count, 4 air plants that I also bought with my birthday money. And here's the pièce de résistance, which is and get it all in the frame. Let's see, that's better. Which is the Paphiopedilum Jersey Freckles, which I ordered from Oliver's greenhouse, and it arrived in flower. I think wasn't the last video I did, I think it was the one before that, when I said that the flower had started to go soft. But this is a division from his big one, and this can be multifloral too. So this one is interesting. It lives upstairs in our bedroom, but that was a birthday present to myself. That was a bit more than some of the money I was given, but I was also given some garden centre vouchers, and I'll show you what I did with that in a minute. This guy I bought back in September. This one here. This is the one that's been in flower ever since I bought it. I cut the top of the spike off because it had branched out. Now whether that will flower or not, I don't know. If it doesn't flower, then I shall cut that down and give the plant a rest, because it's been flowering since I bought it, which has got to be way back in June. So that one lives on the kitchen windowsill. That's the other one that lives on the kitchen windowsill. This guy is special for two reasons. One is he is a birthday present, along with orchid bark, perlite, a watering can, some compost, you know, all those sorts of things in order to look after it. He is my newest acquisition, and I bought him on New Year's Day with my birthday money. So it's the first purchase of this year. When I bought him home, he had a dodgy flower spike that was attached to obviously a cane, which I took out. When I did this with the flower, it wobbled like nobody's business, so I repotted it yesterday, using the bits I had when I came home, and as you can see, it's much more stable in its pot. Look, I can do that without wobbling about. So he also lives upstairs in our bedroom, because the light's a bit better up there than it is down here. But he's so gorgeous to look at. Just that is gorgeous to look at. So this is my Paphiopedilum Mordiofema, as it says on the label there. And there was one in flower, but this one had been reduced down to virtually nothing because it had no flower spike and wasn't stable in its pot. And I'm sorry, I'm a sucker for reduced items. There's nothing wrong with this orchid at all. I took it out of its pot. It's got several good roots, and from what I gather, Paph roots are short anyway. They're not supposed to be very long. He just hadn't been potted very well in his pot, so was, you know, he still had the spike attached but no flower, and that had all died back, so I just cut that off. He's obviously had some water, he's had a change of compost. I put some of the moss that's on my Jersey Freckles on the top here, just so I can monitor how well it is. And he's standing on pebbles like a humidity tray, but obviously not much water in there. So he is my first purchase of 2018, and he is a 50th birthday present from my family. But I never even expected to find one, never mind at the price I bought it for. I'll give you an idea, they'd taken 2/3 of the price off. So he is the one I am babysitting at the moment because he needs to be looked after. Okay, so what's the difference between these two? These two are actually the same thing, right? I bought this one. It was the last one in Tesco's. It was a mini poinsettia, as it says on the label, because I did that because obviously once all the leaves and the petal fell off. I am going to attempt to regrow that. I've always loved poinsettias. You know, they're just interesting to me. I've always loved them. But I've never had the space to have a big one because they take up so much room. And I don't have a lot of room. I mean, if you saw the video with the orchids on our bedroom windowsill, I'll give you an idea. Our lounge windowsill is narrower than that. So the decent ones I've got is this windowsill here, the windowsill out there, and the windowsill on the landing. They are the decent windowsills I have. After that, there's nothing. But I bought this, it was the last one in the shop. When I got it home, I repotted it because it had been watered to within an inch of its life. So, way too soggy. Dried it out a bit, and it still gave up. So, I'm going to try and see if I can keep this and see if it in that, I mean it's not dry in there now, it's not wet, but I'll see if it will, if it's actually died or if it will actually root, because if it roots that would be fantastic. A couple of days later I went to Waitrose, and what a difference. This one I bought home, it's been in the pot for 3-4 weeks, it's watered, it's looked after, it's taken up the space in the humidity tray that my number 2 orchid was in, because obviously they need the humidity as well because of where they come from Mexico, and I intend to try and keep this for next year. Obviously it's not going to stay like that all through the summer, but if I can redo it and rebloom it, that would be really, really good, because I love them. I think they're gorgeous. I have one other purchase from this year which hopefully will arrive on Monday, and that is an amaryllis bulb. They were selling them off cheap in Dyers, so I ordered it online. But basically we've had health issues, I've had plant issues, dead plants, look. But that's nothing new to me. I kill houseplants on a regular basis. Even a cactus I managed to kill, so you know. So that's my orchid review of 2017. But I am most excited about this guy because he's beautiful. He's fantastic, and I love the flowers. I just think the flowers are amazing. Look at that, just look at that. Look at that with the den behind it and the poinsettia and then that. What does that say? You know, yeah, okay, I haven't got a lot of room, but I make room. As somebody else I watch says, there's always room for one more. Providing you don't go mad and they're not huge, I think you can always make room for them. And if I can manage to do things by cuttings and that sort of thing, I think it's a good idea. Also, the other good thing about 2017 was my husband said to me while we were on holiday, he said, when are you going to start your own YouTube channel? Yeah, well, you know when that was, because that's when I started. And it's been an interesting journey, and I am really, really enjoying it, learning all sorts of things from you lot. Not only about orchids, but about other plants as well. Sorry, the video stopped there. Apparently my storage was full, so I've just cleared that a little bit. But it's been a fun experience. You are lovely people, and you know, I keep saying this, but a special thank you to Roger, because if it wasn't for him I wouldn't have nubbins on my dendrobium at all. Never mind, it'd still be standing up. The plant, the varieties of the dendrobiums are fascinating. I'm quite interested to see what Roger's bamboo thing will look like when it comes out. So many thanks to Roger. I've learnt a lot from Orchid Girl. I've been watching Ed's Orchids about the Paphiopedilums, which I think are beautiful, but I don't think I'm going to have any more than 2 because they do get quite big, I gather. But I love the mottled leaves, I think they're gorgeous, and all that. You know, I've had my disasters, I've had my success, especially with the cuttings, because I've never done that before, so that was quite interesting. And I've got, look at this, and I've got that on my dendrobium, but not only that, there's one down there as well, which I definitely wasn't expecting. So overall, my 2017 has been a bumpy ride, but then I wouldn't expect it to be anything else. But whether it's just because I've got a different outlook on life now or what, I don't know. I just decided that at 50 it's time to have a party. So we had a party, and you know, I've taken up volunteering with Oxfam. I'm enjoying that immensely. I've got to start job hunting in earnest soon because I need the money to feed this habit I've got of these gorgeous things. But you know, it's been fun. I've enjoyed this year. I don't know why. I just have. It's just, I think basically more or less because I'd always said I would always do 10 years of being a lollipop lady, because that meant it would take my youngest daughter through her A-levels. The fact that she didn't do them is irrelevant. She actually went off to college and did something completely different. But what it meant was, actually when I was made redundant, it meant that the council made the decision for me and I didn't have to do the guilt trip. So much as the parents love me, and it was very, very nice to feel appreciated, I have to say, and the children and the parents and all the rest of it. I mean, they still talk to me now because I live on the estate where the school is, and they talk to me now, and you know, it's just nice to be appreciated, and you know, just a few words or the gifts just mean everything to me. So that's why I was a little bit upset when I thought I might have killed this orchid, because it's what the kids gave me. They gave me other things besides, but the plant is one of those things you can keep forever. Yeah, it won't wear out, and if you keep looking after it properly, it should last for quite a long time. So I'm really pleased about that. That's one of the good things about this year. I'm just, you know, so 2018, what's going to happen? Who knows? 2018, I might have a new job, I might not. What I do know is I have a new hobby. Anyway, that's enough waffle from me. Hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to go and put all these back where they should be, because this guy has been out of the light for quite a long time because my kitchen's not very bright. And so I will log off there and say I will see you next week, maybe. So bye bye and happy growing.